All right. Next up.
Next up,
We have
we've got a smattering of Walksnail news.
yeah.
Walksnail Avatar has been pushing
Yeah.
lately,
We named
and
this
so we're
section
here.
tryhards.
Yeah, we're here to
So
let you
trying hard.
know how hard they're trying and what they're doing. So first up, Rotor Riot has got a deal on the Dominator, the avatars, where they're doing a 30-day money-back guarantee. They've also got some discounts. That's kind of just regular discounts and stuff,
Hmm.
but they are doing a couple interesting things. One is they've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you buy any of this Dominator products that are labeled with 30-day money-back guarantee, from the day you order or I'm sorry, from the day you receive them, you have 30 days to literally send them back, and they will send you a shipping label to
Right.
send
You don't
back
even
to
have to
them.
pay return shipping. Zero
It's
risk.
literally just buy these and try them, and then send them back, and we'll send you a shipping label. There's zero risk, and we want basically they're trying to get these in people's hands,
Yeah.
right?
They're
And then the
they're,
other thing, yeah, I was
they're
gonna
also doing
go ahead.
free shipping to the EU and the UK. Was that what you were about to say?
Yes, I was going to say that too. So that's another interesting thing. We're going to have people listening, I'm sure, from the EU and the UK who are like, yeah, but I can't order from Rotor Riot. Well, they got free shipping for you. So I'm sure there's still import tax, but compared to where you're normally shopping from, it may not, may not be a factor. Something to consider for sure. So it's kind of interesting. They're definitely pushing this system hard and trying to get people
Yeah.
to look through these goggles. That's for sure.
And I had people are having weird reaction to this. I think that some of it is just because some people will take any excuse to hate on Rotor Riot, and I'm not going to really engage with that. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel, and I'm probably not going to change your mind. But like they have been doing these promos, and people are saying, "Oh, it must not be selling," and it's like if they're reducing the price and trying to get it in your hands with promotions, like why are you mad about that? Right?
Yeah.
This is
Well,
a
I think
this is a great. I mean, buy it or don't buy it, but you have to agree that this is a good move for the customer. And I don't know how
yeah.
you could be mad about it.
Well, I think the scary thing for people is if, look at our next two stories about more discounts and ways to save money on the system. I think people's concern is that if this continues to happen and they cannot get people to jump in, they're going to have to abandon the system. Like
Yeah.
what's the lifetime they've got in this, right? Am I going to lose this in a year?
Yeah.
DJI, we've talked about losing in 2, 3, 4 years after release. We're talking about this
Yeah.
could be as little as a year because who's actually supporting it, right? What money does CADX really have behind this? Is this their full bore?
Yeah.
Rotor Riot is under a Red Cat now, so
Red
Red
Cat.
Cat could make the decision to pull it. It may not be Rotor Riot,
Yeah.
it may not be
Well,
Fat Shark.
Red Cat could pull the Fat Shark. I mean, that wouldn't affect
Right.
Caddx directly, but
Sure.
yeah, I think you're right that I think that the people who say it must not be selling are probably right that if they were selling out everything, they wouldn't drop the price and refund it. So they're trying to get it into people's hands. But at the end of the day, if what they're doing is good for the customer, like even if you say, well, so they reduced the price, but I feel, not me, but this hypothetical person, if you feel like it is fundamentally an unworthy product, then if they reduce the price, you would say, well, they're just trying to get you to pay less for something you won't like in the long run. That's not a good deal for the customer. But a 30-day
Yep.
money back guarantee, man, if you buy it and you fly it for 30 days, you're going to know whether you like it or not. And you could just slap a shipping label on it, put it back in a box and get your money back. That's like, there's no loss. There's probably some risk somewhere in that, but something.
Absolutely. Yeah, and
All right.
that basically brings us right into our next story, which is CADX is discounting Walksnail on their side for owners of multiple CADX cameras, DJI cameras. So if you bought a bunch of CADX DJI stuff and you have proofs of purchase, it seems like they're asking for evidence of you purchasing this stuff.
Oh,
If you have 6 or above CADX Vista Series products, you get 40% off on the same number of Walksnail products. If you have 10 or above CADX Vista Series products, you get 50% off on the same number of CADX or Walksnail products. So it seems
yeah.
like, and then this third one is very weird. I'm not sure I understand what it really means. It says pilots who have collected all the products of CADX since its release will
You
get a
mean going
set of free
all the
avatar
way back
system.
to like the F2 camera,
Yeah, that seems like
the
insanely
S1.
impossible, and nobody would ever do that. But
I mean, somewhere out there, someone's going to try to claim this, but It's a bold move.
Yeah, and I would also say it's not super clear like what a Walksnail product is. I believe they mean a VTX camera bundle, right? But it's hard to know exactly what they mean, so it's a little vague. But they do have, it's just basically free for you to email them this information, and they will send you a coupon for these discounted products. So again, they're just trying to push. It seems like they're just trying to push these Walksnail VTXs.
Yeah. I think that there's an angle to this announcement from Caddx that is relevant to anybody who flies DJI, which is that when DJI and Caddx ended their exclusive relationship, as they put it, what that said to me is that DJI will no longer be providing video transmitters to Caddx. They're going through RunCam now. It's okay, fine. But Caddx said we still have parts to make cameras like the Nebula Pro for the DJI system. And I thought, well, okay, I suppose if you needed a spare Nebula Pro, that would be good to be able to get. But Caddx presumably can put those same sensors and components into Walksnail cameras, right? And this feels to me like they're saying we're moving to work hard in on Walksnail and we're not doing DJI stuff anymore. And to me, this announcement makes me feel like the days where Caddx will continue to make DJI cameras are limited. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think about it the other way, sort of, which is like, I don't know. They're probably going to sell those as long as they can. That would be my guess. And if they are the same sensors, then it's only easier for them to build both, right?
But let's
I don't
say
know, it's free money, right?
Here's the thing. Who's going to be buying Caddx cameras without a video transmitter? Let's say you're an iFlight or a GepRC or a Diatone and you're making bind and flies. Are you going to buy cameras from Caddx and video transmitters from RunCam? If you're RunCam, are you going to sell video transmitters without cameras? No. Why would you do that?
Well, sure. I mean, everybody sells standalones, but I don't think the goal is to get you another camera on it. But like, I mean, I get where you're coming from. Like, I just think like, people know to buy those cameras. They like those cameras, and I'm sure Caddx still thinks their cameras are better than RunCam. So
I mean, I agree that their cameras are better. The Nebula Pro is a very, very, probably the best camera, second to the DJI camera by a small margin. But I just feel like currently, can you? I don't know. I'd say currently is tough because currently Caddx has been providing standalone VTXs to the market, and that will take some time to dry out. I would say in like, let's say 4 or 6 months from now, will you still be able to buy standalone VTXs for the V2 DJI system?
RunCam sells one, so I don't know if they will continue to.
Do they?
But they do now. Yes, I checked on this like a month ago.
I feel like if I was RunCam, I would want people to use my inferior camera, and I could do that by not selling standalone VTXs, and I could thereby undercut Caddx and drive them out.
I'm sure you absolutely could do that. But if somebody breaks a VTX and you make them buy a bundle for no reason,
that's true.
Yeah.
I guess the VTXs break so seldom, I don't think about that very much. The other thing that I thought was, and again, we're purely in the realm of speculation, like those 120 FPS cameras, why don't they make as many of those as we wish they did? And I think part of the reason is that those sensors or chips are limited. And if that's true, then Caddx is going to put all their 120 FPS sensors and chips into their Walksnail cameras and not their DJI cameras, I would think.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's check out the next story. We got to get moving, I think.
Okay.
All right. Next up, with our third Caddx story. Because this all goes together.
I moved on too
right?
soon. Hang on. Yeah, third Caddx story.
So the third thing is Caddx has made, or Walksnail, however you want to look at it now, has made their betas public. So if you go on their Discord now, you can find a public beta of their firmware. And so you can get that, no problem, easy to get. Also, if you're interested in actually testing and you don't just want to download the firmwares, if you submit an application and you provide a bunch of feedback over time, they will send you coupons. They say for range from $2 to $20, so you can use them on Caddx if you want more Caddx equipment. 200. Yeah, 20 to 200. And then also, they say that if you bought the Avatar HD system before October 20th, so basically, so 5 days ago or before that, if you email them with your purchase receipt, for every kit you bought, you will get a $30 coupon on Caddx.
Wow.
Which is free money. So if you're going to buy more from them, you can go ahead and get coupons to get cheaper orders from them.
This is a response to the people who said, why did you release the system half-baked, and why are you treating me like a beta tester? It's not fair.
Yeah.
And you may feel like that $30 coupon is fair or unfair, but I mean, it is a nod in that direction that they owe something to these people. That's nice.
Yep. And then last but not least, number 4, we are working on the VRX. So we originally heard that was going to be October. That's obviously been delayed. So they said it is expected to be officially released in the middle of December. So they'll be beta testing some about 30 to 50 pieces in November, and they'll be providing a 50% discount for testers on those. Otherwise, you can see about the middle of December, we should see their VRX come in. So anybody who's worried about the adoption of getting goggles, hopefully at that point you'll be able to get the VRX and get in for cheaper if you've got capable goggles. So.
Yeah, so presumably if that testing goes well, you might be able to actually buy it in the February, March, April timeframe, I would guess.
Well, so they're saying it will be released middle of December. The testing is November.
Oh, my bad. So it's only going to be tested for like 2 or 3 weeks before they release it. And they'll definitely fix any problems they find.
I'm sure there'll be no bugs and no issues whatsoever. One thing I'll say is the fact that they're producing a module that they're slapping into Dominator headsets may be good enough to make it so that they're like, it won't be that big of a change to put it in a VRX.
They're not starting from scratch. Right. It's going to be a box with an HDMI output. Pretty much the only place for them to screw up is the HDMI output, I suppose, and that's not actually rocket science.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
I think that this receiver module has the potential to really shake up the marketplace. I said on my live stream yesterday that the HD0 goggles are set to be the do-it-all FPV goggle, because they can do HD0 built in, analog with a module, and with HDMI input, they can do Walksnail. Once Walksnail releases this module, you could literally fly all 3 systems on these goggles. That's kind of compelling if you're that kind of guy.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's all very, very interesting stuff.